Hi, I'm Kenyan Foodie and I'm a millennial on the move. So basically what I do is I showcase food, spaces, entertainment spots, restaurants for the general Kenyan population, just so they know where to eat, where to dine from, etc, etc. I do one, social media marketing for restaurants, where I act as a bridge between restaurants and basically Kenyans, or like people in Kenya who want to dine. So basically what I do is I showcase the amenities, the offers, the menu items, etc that restaurants have to offer to Kenyans who would like to dine at that restaurant. Basically the process involves me identifying the restaurant or the restaurant identifying me. I go to the location, shoot different menu items, shoot the ambience of the restaurant, the amenities they have to offer, edit the content, post the content for my viewers to see and interact with, and so that's basically how the process works. So I have various ways of posting my content. I do stories, reels, and feed posts. So it could be me eating the food or my friends eating the food, or just like overviews of shooting, like overview of the content of the food and the spaces with a few effects from like apps, but basically just like an overall reel. So my typical day looks like I wake up, I go to the gym. I go to the gym 4 times a week. Then after that, I come back, edit content that I had taken like the day before or like 2 days before, schedule the content to be posted, prepare, go to another shoot location to shoot new content, come back home, edit that content, and then schedule it. I find a lot of fulfillment and satisfaction in what I do. I love discovering new spots to eat, new spots to hang out in, and I also love showcasing that to people and seeing how they interact with it and them visiting it after I post it. So yeah, the whole process is very satisfying for me. I've loved all kinds of content. My travel content for Mombasa was really nice. In Nairobi, it just depends. Like, I get satisfaction from like outdoor restaurants, indoor restaurants. It could be whatever, really. I love all the content I make. The freedom that I get from the arrangements that I have with content creation, I can have time to relax, I have time to self-reflect, I have time to work out, I have time to myself, basically, that a 9-to-5 would not offer me. So I feel like my audience is really receptive to my content, mostly because as a niche account, I know that when people follow me, they're following me primarily because of my food content. So they're very curious about like new spots, new offers and everything. I get messages all the time asking me like, hi, it's my birthday tomorrow, I need a spot to go dine from, and etc. So yeah, my audience is really, really receptive and curious about my content. My journey growing up, I was born in Eldoret. I was a really artsy, creative kid. We loved to go out a lot. I think the reason why I started my food page was because when I was growing up, my dad would take us out every week out to eat. So when I came to Nairobi, it was already ingrained in me, so it was a habit. So yeah, it just made sense that I would start a food page. I went to Testimony and Greenville School in Eldoret, passed my KCPE, I was called to Kenya High School, passed my KCSE, I studied pharmacy, so I went to JKUAT, but then because of the strikes, I decided to move to USIU, where I completed my pharmacy degree. So when I was in USIU and COVID came, we had online classes, and I had a lot of time on my hands. So I was trying to figure out what to do, and that's when I started my food page. And so yeah, it gave me like so much satisfaction. So by the time I got done with my pharmacy degree, my page was already doing really well. So I decided to postpone doing my board exams, and I haven't done them yet. So all my energy and all my desires are put into my food page as of now, just because of how much passion I have for it and how much satisfaction I get from it. I have 2 siblings. I have a brother, his name is Raymond, and my sister called Daisy. I do feel like they look up to me because my sister recently started her own food page. So I carry her along to like restaurants that I go to review, and she does her own reviews as well. And it's really nice to see because I feel like her role model in a way. Yeah, so I really do love my siblings. My parents' reaction to me pursuing a career in content creation, they were confused at first just because they don't understand how Instagram works. The extent that my parents go to is YouTube. So they were supportive though, and they were like really curious about what I was doing. My mom would call me sometimes and be like, so wait, what is it exactly that you do? Like, do you go to restaurants and just eat their food and leave? So I liked how curious they were about it. And it took a while to convince them since my dad is an academician, he's been a professor for years. And when I took, I followed him basically, followed his steps in the medical field. He was really proud. So for me to kind of like veer off the path a bit, he was a bit confused, let me say that. But he's definitely supportive of my decisions. And yeah, we'll just see how it goes. But I'm really thankful for them for supporting me this whole way. When it comes to parent support, I feel like we're in a different era, and we as millennials need to first embrace the fact that we're in a different era. We need to really self-reflect and find ourselves and find what it is really that we like doing, because I feel like there's a lot of societal conditioning with what we decide to do with our lives. And the only way we can know what we really want to do is if we actually take a step back from that conditioning and think about what really gives me joy. So I feel like as millennials, it's up to us to do that and then enforce that, where our parents can see that, okay, you know what, this really gives this person joy. And as my kid, I can then see that and support it. So for parents, I would say, I understand that it's a different generation, but we have to look at it as this is a different era. It's not the era that say our parents lived in or our grandparents lived in. We're in the era of social media, there's internet, there's new ways of making money, there's new ways of living life. So I feel like when your kid is kind of veering down that path, then I would say that just try and accept it and understand where they're coming from and support it, because it does make money and it's very fulfilling. So one of my highlights is definitely being nominated for the Pulse Live Influencer Awards, and I'll tell you more about it after the break. Welcome back, and as I had mentioned earlier, one of my highlights was definitely being nominated for the Pulse Live Food Influencer Awards. And the reason why it meant so much to me is because one of the reasons why I started my food account was because I was going through the competition in 2021, and I saw that food influencers were a part of influencers. In my head I was like, wait, I could do this. And so I followed all the 10 accounts that were mentioned there, and so a goal of mine when I started it was I have to be nominated for that. So when I was, it felt like it's just been a year and I've already been nominated, so it meant a lot to me. It meant I was doing something right. The second one would be being chosen as the top 5 food and beverage influencers by Dishi Kenya. So just any kind of recognition is important because it keeps you going. So the biggest lessons I've learned in my content creation journey, number one would be consistency. Consistency is everything. Discipline falls under consistency, growth falls under consistency. So what I would say is just post. Post as much as possible, because as you post, then you fine-tune your skills. As you post, then your page grows and more people get to know you and you get business. So yeah, consistency. Number two, I would say perfection is a myth. Just create where you are with what you have. So for me, my issues have always been, oh, I might not have like the right phone to create, or like, what if people don't really like take in my content? So yeah, just do what you can with where you are, and when you do better, then you're going to get better. So a mantra that I live by is do what you can with what you have. So you can never have like the right situation, the perfect situation, but you can use the resources that you have and try to make better for yourself. So I ensure that I'm one step ahead of the game by following a lot of food bloggers and generally just Instagram influencers in general, not just in Kenya but around the world, just to see how they post their content, how they edit their content, and try to incorporate those aspects into my content. Also, in Kenya, we have a really good online food community. So if you're an upcoming food blogger, then you just know you have like a wonderful place within food bloggers. So we have like meets often as food bloggers. We have just basically meetups, and we can DM each other, tell each other like what apps we're using and what restaurants we're working with, and just to give each other tips and stuff. So yeah, that's basically what I do to stay one step ahead. My favorite food blogger is definitely Nairobi Disclosure. He took me in when my journey began, and so my first food meets were because of him. So yeah, definitely look up to him in the food content industry. My dreams are really big. I say as good as it gets, really. So I want to expand my content, not to just Kenya, but like around the world. So I basically want to be like as detailed and expansive and diverse blogger as possible. In the next 5 to 10 years, I see myself as just a renowned influencer with content from just around the world. The cuisines I would definitely like to try, Japanese, intercontinental, Chinese. I would actually just like to try all the cuisines in the world if it's possible. I think where millennials go wrong in the pursuit of their dreams is, one, we're just not aware of what we actually like. Like, we're not aware of our actual passions, so we go with the flow and basically we take what we are given. So it's like we grow up and we're told these are the courses that you should do and this is the life that you should lead. So there's no time to discover ourselves. Number two, for the people who actually know their passions, I feel like we don't actually start. We always have excuses as to why we haven't like pursued our dreams. So it's like, oh, I don't have like the right situation or this or that. So I feel like we should just start. The advice I'd have for young people looking to be food bloggers is, one, open that account, open that Instagram account. I opened mine 2 years ago and I'm already here. So I feel like just open it, start posting, go out, take pictures of food, edit it, post a reel and see where it takes you. And also to join the online food community. Follow as many Kenyan food bloggers as you can. DM me if you can as well. We'll invite you to meet, you'll get to network, you'll get to perfect your craft and basically just grow and develop as a food blogger. what I do with my free time is, one, I write a lot. So I've always loved writing ever since I was a kid, and I'm planning to publish a poetry collection. I've already had my poems edited, so the next step of my self-publishing process is getting an illustrator. So that's definitely on my list of things to do. Apart from writing, I love listening to music. I like spending time with my friends. I love working out. Yeah, and I also love sleeping. I love reading books. I read all kinds of books, from self-help to fiction to non-fiction. I'm an avid reader, and I have always been. My favorite author at the moment is Paulo Coelho, and in specific, his book, The Alchemist, is amazing. That's my guidebook to life. So if I were given an opportunity to dine in a restaurant, it would definitely be one of those floating restaurants in Dubai. Most definitely. That's been on my list for ages. Or just any restaurant in Dubai as of now. My parting shot to upcoming content creators would be post that content. Yeah. So my social media handles are at Kenyan Foodie _X on Instagram and at Kenyan Foodie X on TikTok.